Hey, Oklahoma. I'm Ray Trimble with Mullin Plumbing. Here today. I'm here to talk about something really simple, and I'm going to be honest. I'm mostly talking to you fellas out there, who we go to get something and we figure, if it won't turn pretty easily, then we'll just throw some hustle on there with the muscle, and if that doesn't work, we'll get a cheater. But by golly, that handle is going to turn, or that aerator is going to come off. But usually what ends up happening to us is we end up breaking things and we go from a small cleaning or a small adjustment to a complete repair or replacement. So my tip today is this. Uh, One, let's talk about the valves and the stops under the sink, at the toilet, all of these valves that are around that with the supply lines connected to them. When you look at them, they look like they're metal. And some of them, even on the exterior or the valve housing themselves, they are. But the stem that's coming out of the valve, the guts of the valve going up to the handle, it's plastic. It might even look like metal, but 9 times out of 10, it is not. So when you grab the pliers or something else, or you go to crank on it really hard yourself, what more than likely is going to happen, or it's probably already happened to some of you, is that handle is going to break off in your hand and quite possibly start leaking right then. And now you're unable to shut the valve off. So just remember, that if you're going to shut these valves off and they won't turn with just your hand and with the slight amount of pressure, don't force it. You're taking a big risk. That valve stem, it's plastic and it is not made to withstand that. In Oklahoma, we have hard water. And so when these valves don't get turned on a regular basis, and by regular, I mean at least twice a year, all the way off, all the way back on, the sediment can build up and literally cement these valves open. Another place that this happens to us is where you accidentally left the hose connected and your hose bib froze and busted inside the wall. You go to use the hose, you get water everywhere, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're so frustrated that this happened. But the seat to this valve is way back in the wall, sometimes 18, 20 inches back. So it's a long piece of equipment on this valve. So we go to work on it. It looks like it's threaded. So we tell ourselves, I'm just going to thread this off and go down to the box store and buy a new one. They are not threaded inside the wall. Even if they look like they are, they're soldered. And when you go to crank on it, guess what happens? We go from a split pipe or a potential drippy repair to now we have twisted the pipe off inside the wall, which we can fix. We can gain access by cutting the sheetrock on the back side, but it's all avoidable and controllable. No hustle and no muscle. Everything should turn easy. Let's do our homework before we go to work on things.